Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm sorry I'm running a little late. Still struggle with going Facebook Live. It gives me a lot of difficulty sometimes practicing patience with that. So I'm a little late, so I'm going to give it 1 minute for people to jump on. And I hope everybody can see me because I know last time I had a little bit of difficulty with, okay, good. We have somebody hopping on. As you join, say hello, comment. So this is my 5th nutrition mailbag. I have so much fun when I do them. So for those of you, I know we have a lot more members in this group than when I first started doing them. So for those of you, hi, who maybe are jumping on the first Maddie's Nutrition Mailbag. My name is Maddie. I'm the dietitian for the YMCA, and I go live every Friday at 12:30 to answer questions that I've gotten throughout the week and to answer questions that you post in real time that I can answer while I'm on here. And then I'll go into a specific topic of the day. Hi, Cassie. Okay. So I'm just going to jump in, but before we get into the topic of the day, or the question of the day, I want to let everybody know about all the nutrition happenings that are going on. I still have my office hours every week. I'll always post in the comments the call-in number and the access code. It's super easy. You call in on your phone, and it asks you to put in your access code. So on it, and then I'll be on the other line. So I do my office hours on Monday and Tuesday mornings, 9:30 to 10 o'clock. Wednesday and Thursday afternoons, 3:30 to 4 o'clock. Again, I'll put the call in below. I do a nutrition newsletter that I send out every Wednesday with recipes, recipe videos, just general wellness tips. I cover new nutrition information, so you're welcome to throw your email in the comments or message me privately with your email, and I'm happy to add you to that list. It's a great way to stay connected, and then that way you have my email, and you can also connect with me that way and email me. I do nutrition coaching as well, so for those of you who are looking for one-on-one, individualized, personalized nutrition coaching, I offer that. They're 45-minute private sessions. I offer them in packages of 1, 3, 6, and 8. And if it's something that you wanted to sign up or register for now to apply when we can see each other in person, you can do that. They don't expire. Or if it's something that you want to sign up for now and get started, we can do it over Zoom or we can do it over the phone. And lastly, I'm doing classes for kids over Zoom on Wednesday nights. So I post the information about that on Wednesday mornings, Wednesday afternoons in this group. I post the information for that Zoom class. So this week we did a yoga sequence together, which was really fun. And then we talked about fun and interesting ways to increase fruits and vegetables in your kiddos' diets. Okay, so as you're joining, guys, I would love if you commented, and you can drop your email if you want to join my newsletter. Just comment and say hi, ask me your nutrition questions, but we're gonna get into it. So a question that I've gotten frequently is asking about low carb. And I know this is something that I covered a little bit in the Wellness Challenge, but I wanna talk about it today because I think there's a lot of information out there about carbs, and in general, it seems as though carbohydrates have gotten a bad rap for whatever reason. So I'm just here to clear the air about that and talk about that. So just a disclaimer about today's post. I'm going to be talking about carbs and also about managing your blood sugars, whether it's for for whether you're looking for long-term sustainable energy, or whether you're at risk for developing diabetes and you want to learn how to control your blood sugars. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for joining. Or if you're somebody who already has diabetes and you're looking to learn how to control your blood sugar a little bit better, this talk doesn't take the place of any specific medical nutrition therapy. This is really the basics, bare bones of it. If you're looking for one-on-one support in terms of managing blood sugars, that's something that I can absolutely offer as well, but this is just generalized. So this doesn't take the place of any sort of medical nutrition therapy. So first question of the day, I want help going low carb, or should I go low carb? So one misconception about carbohydrates is that they cause you to gain weight. So carbohydrates contain 4 calories per gram. They're equivalent to protein. Protein also contains 4 calories per gram. So when people say carbs are fattening, carbs cause you to gain weight, have protein, protein's best, more protein is better. In terms of calories, which is what it really comes down to with weight loss, maintenance, gain, they're the exact same in terms of the amount of energy that they give you. They give you equal amount of energy. The carbohydrate molecule hangs on to more water than protein does. So that's why when you do the low carb or the keto, whatever Atkins diet, and you do super low carb, that's why you do lose that quick weight at first. Is because when you cut those carbs, you're cutting water. So when you're cutting water, you're losing water weight. That's all it is. So usually when you lose that rapid weight really quickly, it's water. We don't need to be losing water weight. Our bodies are made up of 2/3 water, and for a good reason. So we don't need to be losing that water weight. Carbs are our body and our brain's preferred energy source. So they're good. We need them, or our body prefers to use them as its source of fuel. So if we cut them way low, obviously we experience these cravings, and which makes sense because our body really likes them. If we cut way low and we ignore those cravings, that inevitably usually leads to a binge, or you overdo it on the carbs. Maybe that causes you to gain weight because you just overdid it because you've been depriving yourself of them. And that just leads to like a binge restrict cycle. Plus, when you're cutting carbs, you're missing out on the foods that you love, the breads, the pasta, the rice, the bagels, the good stuff. Again, anytime you cut out something that you love from your diet, or really restrict it, ban it, it's going to cause that binge, restrict, or overdo it, restrict, overdo it cycle. Carbohydrates, or carbohydrate foods, a lot of them contain vitamins and minerals, and they contain fiber. If you're really cutting carbs and you're having mostly protein and fat foods, most of us don't get enough fiber anyways, let alone if you're doing the low carb. You're going to be experiencing constipation and a lot of GI upset. Also, that fiber in your carb foods are going to help with satiety. That help you feel full, which can, if you're somebody who's trying to lose weight, which can help with a weight loss journey. So there's lots of diets talking about no sugar, grain-free, keto, super low carb. Carbs are found in fruits, vegetables, they're found in dairy, they're found in starchy and grain foods. So let's break it down a little bit. When you find carbs in food, they're in polysaccharides, disaccharides, or monosaccharides. Once they're in the body and once your stomach starts to digest them, they're all broken down into one of 3 simple sugars, which is glucose, fructose, and galactose. One of 3. So no matter what form they are in the food, once they're broken down, they're in 3 simple sugars. So another concept that you hear is good versus bad carbs. On a macronutrient level, so when you're looking at that molecule, whether you're getting it from whole wheat bread, whether you're getting it from a blueberry, potato, broccoli, a lollipop, ice cream, cookie, candy, once it's broken down, your body can't tell where that carbohydrate is from because it's all broken down into those simple sugars. So, but when it comes to, you know, of course, when you come down to the micronutrient level, the vitamins and the minerals, the fiber, obviously there are more foods that are more nutrient dense than other foods. But, you know, when it gets down to that simple sugar level, your body can't tell. When you restrict carbs too, you're going to have a natural increase in the fat and the protein in your diet. We don't really need to be doing that. All macronutrients are important. All three, carbs, fat, and protein, they're all really important and do different roles for our bodies. Again, carbohydrate is the main source that our brains and bodies prefer to use. It's the easiest fuel source. And also naturally, if you cut carbs and you increase your protein and your fat, fat is the most calorie dense macronutrient of them all. So it carries 9 calories per gram. So when you kind of have more fat, you can actually lead to getting an excess of calories. So with that being said, you know, it's not a good idea for your diet to be entirely carbohydrates, but it's also not a good idea to cut them way low. The dietary guidelines for Americans suggests that 45 to 65% of our calories come from carbohydrates. So mostly the healthier choices, like the more nutrient dense ones, should be where most of your carbs are coming from. So those whole grains, fruits and vegetables, your plant proteins, nuts, seeds. But the carbs and added sugars and refined grains, things like that, your body can't tell the difference. It's not, and those foods aren't going to directly lead to fat or weight gain. Okay. Now, our topic of the day, and people who are watching, if you want to comment your name or just comment and say hi, you can throw your email down below if you want to join my nutrition newsletter. The topic of the day is managing blood sugars. So this is for anybody who's looking for more sustainable long-term energy, or this might be for someone who is maybe looking to lower their risk of developing diabetes, or if you're somebody who has diabetes, this might give you a little bit more insight into how to control your blood sugars. Again, this isn't a replacement for any sort of medical nutrition therapy, but this is just sort of some tips and tricks on what foods can help you control your blood sugars. So, carbohydrates have the greatest impact on our blood sugars because they are the nutrient that is broken down directly into sugar. When we eat protein and fat, those aren't directly broken down into protein, sugars, just carbohydrates. So there's different kinds of carbohydrates. There's your complex carbs, which are larger molecules. Because they're larger molecules, they take longer to break down. So this includes your whole grains, like your whole wheat pasta, your whole wheat bread, your brown rice, barley, quinoa, your whole grains. And the recommendation is to make half of your grain intake from whole grains. Other complex carbohydrates include potatoes, corn counts as a whole grain, and legumes, so like beans and lentils. All of these complex carbohydrates that I just listed contain fiber. So fiber is a type of starch that isn't digested by the body, it's excreted. But fiber has a really important role in slowing the release of those sugars from carbohydrates into your blood. So when you have fiber, sugar doesn't go into your blood as quickly. So it causes your blood sugar to kind of go like this rather than spike up high. When it's like this, when it's less of a sharp spike, that means that you have longer energy, you don't have that crash, and you feel full for longer. So then there's your simple carbohydrates. So these are those easy type to digest sugars, those small, simple sugars that are easily broken down by the body and go into the bloodstream quicker. So these include foods with added sugar, such as your sweetened beverages like, iced tea, soda, lemonade, things like that, juices, and then foods with lots of added sugars in them. So some yogurts, some cereals, granola bars, and then your like sweet stuff, like your cookies, your cakes, your candies, things like that. Again, these cause a quick release of sugar into your bloodstream, causing that high and short spike, which gives you short-term energy, and you're gonna feel hungry and maybe even tired shortly after that. Now, fruits and vegetables contain simple sugars. So it's not all like the super sugary foods that you think of, like soda and cake. When you think of simple sugars, fruits and vegetables also naturally contain simple sugars, but they also contain that fiber, which helps to slow the release of the sugar into your bloodstream. Same with dairy. Your milk, your yogurt, your cheese, that also contains a rather simple sugar. But dairy contains protein and sometimes fat, depending on the kind of dairy product that you're getting, which helps slow the release. So let's get into how protein and fat can help control your blood sugars as well. If you're having a carbohydrate food and you're having it with a protein or a fat food, that's going to help slow the release of sugar into your bloodstream as well, rather than just having the carbohydrate food as is. So the recommendation is, if you're going to have a carbohydrate food, like, whether it's a piece of toast or crackers or pretzels or granola, whatever it is that you like, or cereal, pair your carbohydrate-rich food with a protein food or a fat food. That's going to give you longer and long-term energy. It's going to promote more satiety, and your blood sugars are going to have more of this effect rather than the spike. Any questions for anybody who's watching? So let's talk about some examples for how you can incorporate some more protein, fat, and fiber into your your meals. So say you're having regular pasta, plain spaghetti. You could switch to a whole wheat pasta or a bean pasta, like I like Banza, to give you that fiber. You could add in some olive oil or a little bit of cheese, like Parmesan cheese. That's going to give you some fat. And then you can add in a protein. So you could do shrimp. You could do like a shrimp scampi. You could do chicken. You could do tuna for a tuna casserole, or you could do beans if you're doing like a bean pasta salad. Say you're having a piece of plain toast. You can switch to a whole wheat bread. That's going to give you the fiber. You could top it with a healthy fat like avocado, and then add a protein, egg. So do avocado egg toast, my favorite. Say you're having plain Cheerios. This is, you could switch to whole grain Cheerios, or you could switch to oatmeal. Those are both going to give you more fiber than just a plain Cheerio. You could add in, say you're having oatmeal, you could add in peanut butter. That's going to give you a little bit of fat and protein, or add in a yogurt. That's going to give you some protein as well. Again, adding in, making little swaps or adding in stuff. It's not about taking away, but adding in to make it a little bit more balanced, adding in some other food groups that help slow the release of the sugar from the carbs into your bloodstream. Say you're having a rice dish. You could switch to brown rice, or you could switch to quinoa and add in your healthy fat, or your fat. So whether that be cheese, a little bit of butter, olive oil, avocado, and then add in your proteins. That could be meat, it could be beans, so it could be like an Asian style stir-fry dish that you're making, or it could be like a Mexican dish where you're adding in beans and cheese. Get creative with it. If you're having a baked potato, healthy fat, cheese, olive oil, avocado, and then your protein, adding ground turkey to it, or adding beans. The last thing, main tip for controlling your blood sugars is eating consistently. So eating every, I say 3 to 4 hours, 3 to 5 hours, to help keep your blood sugars from dipping too low and causing low energy. If you're somebody who who is living with diabetes. This is really important because skipping meals can cause, you know, both hypoglycemia, low blood sugars, and hyperglycemia, high blood sugars. And those can be dangerous, especially if you're somebody who has diabetes. So that is my topic of the day. That was a lot of information that I just gave y'all. But again, I will post in the comments my dial-in code for my office hours. Give me a call. Throw your email down below if you want to be added to my nutrition newsletter. I'll be back here next Friday the 22nd at 12:30. And I don't know what my topic of the day is going to be yet. So also give me some ideas for that. Ask me your questions that you want answered. And I hope to see you guys back here next week. I hope you have a great week. I hope you're hanging in there. I'm here for you. Yeah, enjoy your weekend. Bye, everybody.